don't care. She's like, no, because let me tell you, everybody be saying that I be so great. I don't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. Wow. Let me tell you. I said, I don't know what land. I said, I don't know what planet you on, but I'm on Earth. And I was on Earth when you said what you said. So I don't care what you have to say. I don't care. Okay, so after that happened, they end up moving me to pre-K. Pre-K is like nobody wanted to be there. Nobody wanted to be in pre-K or what is it? Damn it. Pre-K and the threes room. I can't remember what it's called, but the threes room. I went down to pre-K. I was with this other black lady. She was real cool. We used to talk all day. She was a bit crazy. She was a bit crazy, but I miss her. I wonder if she had a baby or whatever, but I liked her. So we used to work together. That was real cool. So then they hired another lady. They hired all these new people. So per usual, when they hire new people, they try and kick the old people out. So they hired another lady, end up just like throwing me wherever, tried to make me like a floater. Now, when I told y'all when I got hired, I don't like that. I told her that initially. I don't like that. I like routine. When I got hired, I want to be in either or. I don't want to go back and forth. In the beginning, even when I said, because in the beginning, before, when she was saying you got to pick between twos or infants, I'm like, I can't be in both. She was like, no, we don't do that. So then, once I get good and settle in my classroom, I'm like, I don't want to do that no way. Now you're trying to throw me everywhere. So they put some white girl in my classroom that didn't know what the hell was going on and gonna try and throw me, like, make me a floater. I was like, oh no, baby. Oh no, I'm not doing no floater work. So then basically they end up putting me in preschool where I met my friend, my younger friend. Oh, Sierra. Y'all know Sierra. She was in the vlog, whatever. Sierra. And then my other I want to say my other friend because she was like my friend. And she was an older lady. I'm not going to say her name because I don't know if she wanted to be mentioned in my vlog. But Sierra know her. We was a trio. Even though Sierra wanted to be a duet between her because they was like this before I came. But we was a motherfucking trio. But anyways, I met them and I ended up liking them. I was like, oh, I can stick around a little bit longer because I was going to quit. I was just going to leave. Like, I was just sitting around just waiting for one day to just be like, fuck y'all, I'm out of here because that's what I wanted to do. So anyways, I was going back and forth there for a while. And then like eventually my manager tried to like cause rift between the trio. Like they was trying to find anything to do. Like one day I'm sitting in class and it's so crazy because I was sitting in class, Sierra reading a book to the kids. I'm sitting in a chair. And as Sierra was reading, I don't know why, but I was like, oh my God, I got a Fashion Nova package getting delivered. I opened my phone. I didn't even get to click. I swear to God on my life, I couldn't even find a Gmail app before she comes barging through the door. Why? Because she's staring at me on the camera. Barges through the door. Hey, I really can't have you being on your phone all day. Mind you, it was my first time bringing out my phone. I said I just put it on my phone. Now, normally if I'm just on my phone and she said something to me, I wouldn't have like been combative with her. But I had just put that phone out and me, her, and Sierra knew it. And so when she came in, she's like, I can't have you being on your phone all day. People can see, blah, 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 blah. She was like, I'm doing a showing. She was like, I'm having a tour, and all we see is you on your phone all day. Mind y'all, I told y'all, I didn't even get to see when my Fashion Nova was getting delivered yet. Like, I didn't even get to see before she got there. And so, I was like, but I just put my phone out. She's like, but I seen you on the camera. You didn't just put your phone out. I said, so you stopped the tour to come back here. She said, no, on the whole tour you was on your phone. A lie. So then I look at Sierra and I was like, okay. And I just put my phone in my pocket and she left. And Sierra was like, you just pulled that phone out. I was like, I know. I was like, she just wants to pick with me. Like, she just wants to pick with me, right? So here goes another incident. Like, this was another, what's this one before? Yes, it was. So I'm going to tell you about this girl that I got into when they used to work there. What's her name? What's her name? I know her name, but I'm not going to call her name. What should I call her? I'm trying to find somebody that just like suits her. I'm just call her Aggie because that's what her ass was. Girl. Now, the first time I met this girl, they used to work here. Her name was Aggie. We was the same age, but mentally, I'm like 38. Mentally, her ass was like 6 because I don't know. The first day I met her, I got put in the 1-year-old classroom, and she was in there, and she was like, hey, and I'm like, hey, you know, and she was like, you know, are you in school, la la la. I'm like, yeah. And she was like, what did she said, do you have a boyfriend? I said, yeah. She said, are you on birth control? When she first asked me was on birth control, I thought she was trying to call me fat. Because you know birth control make you fat. And I was like, no. And she was like, well, how do you not get pregnant? That's what she asked me. My first ever time meeting her. I was like, what? And then another lady was like, you don't ask people like that. Shut up. I'm like, she's like, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to figure out like ways to not get pregnant by my boyfriend because like I'm not on birth control and I just don't want to get pregnant by my boyfriend. And I was like, maybe use protection. Pull out. She was like, once he in, he don't want to pull out. Like that was a flex. Like that was a flex. That's how you know that your brain is like 5-year-old because you need to push his ass out if you don't want a kid. I don't give a fuck. Like you, I was like, weird flex. I was just like, because I just didn't even know. Like, I don't even know your name. Why are you asking me this? So I was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know. And then, like, it just, like, she just, like, walked away. It was just, like, the weirdest shit in my life. So I ended up getting into an argument with her. Let me tell y'all. She got put out of another classroom, which was supposed to be her designated classroom, but they didn't want her in there. She got put out of that classroom, and she came into my classroom. So our kids was having a pizza party this day. Mind you, the lady that I normally work with wasn't there. I think she had a doctor's appointment to go to. No, she was having a bad day, so her and the other girl swapped because they didn't want to be bothered with her, and the other lady needed a break from the bigger kids because they didn't want to name my house. It'd be fucking disrespectful. So I'm in there or whatever. She comes in. Our kids are having a pizza party. Like I said, our kid, mind you, I've been there by myself all morning. So the kids sitting down there, I'm reading a book to them because relax. Like, relax. Y'all not going to be running me rampant. It's me by myself. She come in. She like, let's have a dance party. Now, I said, okay. You know they kids. I'm like, if you going to be bothered with them. So she turned on music for them to start jumping around. And now they running around the classroom. And then she gets on her phone. Well, her watch. Like, she didn't pull out the phone. She was always on the Apple Watch. So that automatically irritated me because now I have to reinforce the classroom when they was perfectly fine. And you come in here with your fucking suggestions and you're not even paying attention. So then, you know, I simmer them down. We do a couple activities, time to eat. So they didn't eat lunch, so they took a little bit longer for their food to get there because the parent brought pizza. Mind you, this is not even her classroom. This is not even your classroom. So sit back, bitch. Let me run the show because this is my class. This is where I be every day. Like, I know what to do. So I'm like, okay, can you keep the kids settled? I'll make the plates. You know, for pizza, you make the plates, put their sides, pass it out to them. She was like, okay. Is she making sure they settle? No, she's looking in the pizza. Mind you, I'm plating some of the pizza, but it was so many boxes. So she's like in there. Now, I know that she wants some of the pizza. But for protocol, you're supposed to feed the kids first. You know, it's always leftovers that you can eat. And if it's not an even amount of leftovers for our kids, then you could just do whatever you want with the rest. You get what I'm saying? Eat it, throw it away, whatever. So I know she wants the pizza, but I'm like, they running rampant. Like, tell them to calm down first. So they screaming or whatever. She gets out a piece of pizza. She's eating the pizza in front of the crazy ass kids right now. Mind you, it's already later than now it's about to be their nap time. And they haven't even ate yet. Kids. So here go the little girl whom I bought it. My mom bought that pizza. I want some pizza. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, well, can you make them sit down? She's like, well, they're not crying. They're okay. I was just like, okay. So I stopped making the pizza to tell them to sit down. She's like, I got it. I mean, they're not crying. I'm like, girl. Just eat your pizza, stand to the side. What? I'm just saying that because this is how she tried to hop onto it with me. Mind you. This is how I was looking at her. Why? Because I knew if I would have beat her ass, they probably would have pressed charges on me. I would have went to jail, definitely. If I didn't get up out of there fast, I would have went to jail. They would probably came to my house. Because this bitch is from Madison Heights. Is that what she said? Somewhere. A black girl, but whitewashed as hell. She just did not want it. She just did not want it. Like, how she was talking, I was just like, in my head, like, don't play with me. So, she's like, they not screaming that perfectly. I mean, like, what you want me to do? Like, you don't know how to tell the kids to sit down. I was like, just eat your pizza. So I told them to sit down. I'm like, be quiet, zero noise into the pizza. So I'm making a pizza. She's like, I mean, but I don't understand why you had to stop what you was doing to tell me. I mean, they perfectly fine. I said, okay, just leave me alone. You can't tell me to leave you alone. We work together. We have to talk. This is how she yelled on the side of, like, that bitch had enough distance, but not enough. Because if she was here, her ass could have been in the camera front, which means her ass was too motherfucking close. So I was making pizza. She's like, we have to talk. We work together. I don't understand. You can't tell me to leave you alone. You can't tell me not to talk to you. I was like, just go eat your pizza. Leave me alone. Mind you, now it's quiet, so all the kids is like, I'm like, leave me alone. Yeah, I walked out the classroom. I went down there to Sam's ass. I said, get her out of here. I was like, she's annoying as fuck. I can't work with her. She got to go. She got to go. So in the process of me already in the hallway, she walks out. If you don't want to work with me, I don't want to work with you. Okay, bitch, I asked you to leave before. You didn't. Before I went down the hallway, I was like, okay, can you go? Can you leave? And she's like, what? And that's when I went down the hallway and told my manager I don't want to work with her. So my manager was like, okay, well, can you get in the classroom and just for ratio, please, for ratio. So I get in the classroom. She caught herself storming out. Bitch, you just did the same thing I did, but whatever. She left out. And my manager came in and she was like, well, I need you guys to work together. La, la. I was like, I don't even know why she's here. And then as she's walking out, she's like, and that's why nobody wants to work with you. Mind you, only person that didn't want to work with me is Infants. I was like, right. Says the person who just got kicked out of their classroom. They permanent classroom that you've been in for how long, bitch? Okay, I'll wait. So whatever. I was like, well, I didn't care to argue with her. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Get your ass out of here, bitch. So she left. Another girl ended up coming in. That was the end of that. Another situation that was just so weird with her. She found my YouTube. So hello, if you're watching my YouTube, subscribe, bitch, and stop watching like a weirdo. Because she told me in that moment, she was like, yeah, I seen your YouTube. And I'm like, what? And she was like, yeah, I seen your YouTube. I think somebody told it to me, or you had it on your Crocs, because I have those custom Kimberly TV Crocs. And I was like, oh, my Crocs. Because she was like, yeah, you wore them last week. But I hadn't worn them last week. I had worn them like a few weeks back. So I was like, what? I only wore pink Crocs this week. She was like, oh, well, I think somebody told me about it. I said, well, nobody knows about my YouTube. Oh, well, with that probably is the bitch that was snitching on me. Snitch bitch, but whatever. She used to run her mouth all the time anyway, so whatever. Probably makes sense. She was like, yeah, I found it or whatever. And I watched her videos. I said, oh, did you subscribe? She said, no, because I don't want to be weird. I said, no, it's weird that you watching my videos and you didn't subscribe to become a part of Kim's clip. And she was like, oh, well, I'll subscribe. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, like, at a later day, she had told me, like, oh, yeah, like, I really want to be like you. Like, I like to watch your videos. I like that you're traveling. Like, we're the same age and you're traveling and living your life. Like, I want to be like that. And you get your hair done all the time and stuff like that. But, and there'd be a lot of girls like that be just wanting to be for me because they want to be like me. But, girl, don't try it. You rather be my friend than my enemy. Because I'm a blessing or a curse. Okay? And it could get like that. So, you might as well be my friend, like, the people who know. So, that happened with her. What else? Oh, I had a later incident when she had came to relieve me from preschool one day. And she was like, hey, Kim, I want to talk to you before you leave. Mind you, you're relieving me. I don't want to talk to you. I'm like, what's up? She like, well, I know that I'm not mad at you anymore. And I know what happened the other day. I was doing too much. And I know that you've been talking to everybody about it. Or talking to everybody about me. I said, pause. Whatever I had to say, I said to you. I said, I don't have to talk about you behind your back for shit.
My friend, older coworker I was telling y'all about was behind me like snapping. She was like, I know that's right. You better tell her. And she was doing so funny looking dance. It was crazy.
I said, I don't even care no more. She said, well, somebody told me that you were talking about. I said, I don't care what somebody told you. I say what the hell I got to say to you to your face. She was like, okay, well, I just wanted to say that I was out of line and I apologize because I do be picking. I'm so sorry. And I do be picking. I don't want to fight. Like, I'm not a fighter. Like, I don't know. I'm so sorry. I was like, okay. And she was like, are we good? I said, we cool. And I left. Whatever. I left at that moment. And that was, like, after that, like, she spoke and passed or whatever, but I don't even care. I don't even care, like, because, maybe I won't say that, but whatever. She spoke when we were in group talking, and I just was like, because I just don't give a shit. So that happened. Another crazy ass lady, I'm just calling her ass crazy because she was crazy. I got into it with her there. Why? I don't know. But I'm about to tell y'all. So this is what happened. So there was this crazy lady. Now, before I got there, she was already working there. She barely came to work. They said that she abused her son. And they was just like, she crazy. And I didn't know what they were saying until I found out that her ass was really crazy. So one day we was working in infants together, and apparently she not supposed to be in infants. So this was the time that my boss wasn't there, and Jamie was in charge, which is the assistant manager. She was like, oh my God, Sam's gonna kill me, but I really need you on ratio because we don't have enough people in there. So she came in there. Now this was on 2 occasions. So she came in there one time, told me her whole life story. I didn't even tell her my name. She told me her whole life story, and I was like, oh, okay, like that's crazy, like you crazy. Second time she came in there, we in there. No, this was the same day. I'm lying. Was in there again after that, which should have never happened, but whatever. We was in there together, right? So we in there, whatever. She, you know, to introduce herself, tell me her whole life story, and then she never did any work. Like, she just talked. So by the time it's like, because I think she was relieving somebody from break, which is why we was out of ratio. So she started to clean up. So it was this baby, and the baby, his mama worked there. His mama worked literally right next door. His mama, big, chocolate, and big. I'm like, woo, you don't want to play with that mama, honey. So, I mean, like 6 feet and stacked. Like, stacked. I'm like, you don't play with her, honey. So, you know, it was her baby or whatever. So, the baby, now he's like, at this time, I think he was one of the oldest babies in the class. So, he was the oldest baby that day. Like, about to be 1 or whatever. Meaning, like, in age. You know, like I'm saying, like, it's how he, because just 6 weeks to 1 year. So, whatever. So, he active. So, he be on a move. He walk. I mean, like, he wasn't walking yet. When he started walking, he went next door. But he wasn't walking yet. He was just, like, holding on to stuff to move around or whatever. So, she cleaning up. So, mind you, she let the food sit there so long. So, here come the baby coming over there. So, now she decides she wants to clean up. So, she wiping stuff, and it's all over the floor or whatever. So, he going to pick stuff up on the floor. So, she's moving him. But she's not moving him further enough. Far away enough for her to be able to get the stuff before you come back. She's moving him an inch away, like, stop baby, like that ever works in life. It never works. So she goes to wipe down a tray that's normally his seat, because it's like a high chair that sits on the floor. So she's wiping it down. She went to slide it back on. Mind you, I tell you, the baby holds on to people to walk. The baby, like, gets up, grabs her arm. I don't know what happened with the tray, but she was like, in the infant room. Like, the 6 to 1 year old room starts cussing, walking back and forth. Fuck, I gotta go now. My feet, ooh, just like that. I swear to God, y'all, I cannot make this up. I was sitting there for like, all the babies like, what is wrong with you? Mind you, she was already telling me that she was like in shootouts and stuff. And I'm just like, this is crazy. So she gets up and she goes out the room, like leaves me in there by myself. So we still looking. Mind you, like the baby, like he a tough ass baby. Because any other baby would have started crying. He fell back on the floor. He looking at her too, like, because when she got up, you know, he lost his balance, so he just like sat down basically. He looking at her like, the hell is wrong with her? So he crawled on, finished playing with his toys. So she go outside, she cussing. So then by this time, my boss comes. No, not my boss. Jamie came, like, what's going on or whatever. And she's like, I hurt my finger. The baby hurt my feeling. I really need to cool myself down, because when I feel pain, I get livid and I see red. I'm like, you see red with a 1-year-old? You shouldn't work at a daycare. Okay. So she's screaming like a madman. I'm like, the fuck is wrong with bro? So she's screaming or whatever. And she come back and she's like, I'm sorry, Camille, because when I see red, I don't care who it is. When somebody hurt, like, he almost ripped my nail off. And I mean, I done had plenty of my nails rip off. And if it was the fault of a baby, like, I didn't had a nail broken in the middle before because of a baby. Joseph snatched one of my fingernails off before, and I have, like, never decided, like, I didn't jumped up and out, ooh, ow. I've never, like, screamed in his face or any of that weirdo shit. Like, I would never start cussing at a 1-year-old or a 2 or any baby. Like, that's just sick. She came back and she was like, I see red. Like, I'm so sorry, but I see red with shit like that. I mean, I'm from the streets. I'm just like, what? She was telling me how she almost shot somebody at this club. I'm like, what? This is crazy. Like, you is a savage. So that was like my first encounter with her. Crazy encounter. Another, so then they were saying she couldn't be infants no more, period. Like, they was like, first off, she should have never been there, but you really can't be there now because you crazy as hell. That happened. So then she was next door. So this is how my manager's so messy. Mind you, I'm new here. I still don't know nobody. But I know that I don't want to be bothered with the big lady who baby just got hurt. I wasn't saying a damn thing. So Sam's messy ass goes to tell the chocolate lady. I'm just calling her the chocolate lady. Because, what should I call her name? Brandy. I'm going to call her Brandy. If y'all knew these names, y'all would think it's so funny why I'm naming these people to these names. So, Brandy is who baby it was. So Sam goes to tell Brandy what happened, but barely tells her what happened, but tell her that I was there and I know what happened. So Brandy, one day I'm going on break and Brandy come over before and she was like, yeah, Kim, can I talk to you for a little bit? Are you about to go on break? I'm like, yeah. She was like, well, can you come talk to me? Mind you, I don't know her, so I'm like, what you want to talk to me about? I knew that it was about the baby, but I'm like, who the fuck told her? Because I didn't tell her, and I don't want to get in a part of that. I don't. When I got there, I didn't want to have friends. I didn't want none of that shit. And they real clicky wicky, which is why they didn't really like me. So when I went over there, I'm like, hey. She was like, yeah, well, I wanted to tell you, no, I want to ask you what happened with my baby. I was like, no, I don't want to be a part of it. She was like, no. I was like, well, who told you something happened? I was like, I don't want to be a part of this. Like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't care. She was like, well, you know, like, she eventually told me, like, Sam told me. I said, well, why Sam didn't tell you what happened? I'm like, she was like, did she hit my baby? I'm like, no, she didn't hit your baby. I told her the truth. I said she did scream and be like real irate, but I said it was in general. It was not directed towards the baby. I'm like, and she didn't hit your baby or any, like, she didn't put anything, like, you know, I told her what happened, but I made clear to say that she didn't harm your baby or yell. I mean, she was cussing at her baby, but she wasn't cussing at her baby. You know, I tried to be real careful because you don't play with nobody but their fucking kid. So I was trying to be real careful. So Brandy was like, okay, thank you. So that's why I was like, oh, this is a messy ass job, because why would my boss tell her that I was there?
Pay close attention to how I tried to speak carefully and save this lady instead of just saying like, girl, yeah, she was cussing your kid out, because she did this again later on in the story. So just pay close attention.
Bitch, what if Brandy would have went She-Hulk on us and beat us all up? I'm okay. So that happened. So another incident, we had this little girl in our class that was bad. Used to run around, hang in a windowsill, just be bad. Like, she used to be really bad. Jump off the stuff. Like, she used to act a fool. And they used to be like, oh, she just wants attention. And so she would just like stand on a stack of 50 cots and hang upside down off them, jump up and down. Like, and it was like she got behavioral issues and all this. And I'm like, oh, I used to ignore the hell out of her because I'm not going to be dealing with that. So one day she was having a really bad day or whatever. And Crazy came in or whatever. She was like, what's going on? And I was like, well, Sam said that you would have I was like, Sam said that you would have a talk with her, because Sam did say, like, you know, let her take her on a breather because she was a floater that day. And she was like, oh, I don't know why they gonna give me her. They ain't gonna give me her because I'll whoop her. Like, I smack kids and I'm not gonna play with her. I fuck around and beat her. I beat her ass. Like, I don't play like that in front of the whole classroom. So I was like, okay. So then she ended up still taking a little girl or whatever. And I said something to Sam. Why? Because I'm in the classroom. I don't give a shit. They tried to pin everything on me. I went in there because I'm like, oh, y'all, one thing y'all not about to do is try to open a CPS case against me. I was like, yeah, this is what happened in the classroom, and everybody heard it. And we had this little girl in our class that talked so damn much. So much. And she used to misconstrue the hell out of everything. Like, we had to make like 3 incident reports while I was there because she was lying on people. Like, saying one person said something that another person didn't say. You get what I'm saying? And I'm just like, oh no, you ain't gonna catch me slipping like that. So I had said something. And they had said something to her, like, did this happen or whatever. She was like, well, I never said it to her, blase, 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 which she did. But whatever, that happened. So she had came to, so one day she came to ask us if we wanted to go to the bathroom or whatever when I was in preschool, and I was in there with Sierra. And she came in or whatever, and she was like, do anybody go to the bathroom? And I'm like, no. And she was like, well, do y'all need anything done in here? So I'm trying to find something to do or whatever. And I was like, well, It was this little baby, and I can't remember his damn name, but I'm not gonna say it no way. I was like, well, he not having a good day. I said, he not listening. You can talk to him if you want to. And she was like, well, I said, you can talk to him if you want to. And she was like, oh, well, he always be really good. I said, well, sometimes he throw temper tantrum. I said, and after you talk to him, he still got to sit there and have a break, because you don't call it timeout, you call it a break. And she said, well, I'm just shocked that they letting you get away with all this, because they tried to tell me that I couldn't do that, or I couldn't talk to people like that, because what did she say? She said it some type of way. Damn, I can't even remember exactly how she said it, but she was like, I'm shocked that they let you get away with that, because they tried to say that I was being abusive doing something like that. And oh yeah, that's what she said. And I was like, me telling him to take a break and you threatening kids is not the same, so they shouldn't have anything to say about that. And she was like, what do you mean me threatening kids? I said, you trying to compare you threatening kids and they telling you that you can't do that to me telling that kid that he has to take a break because he was hitting his teachers. And she stood up like a dummy. No effort. What she said, I don't know. She was sitting down, but eventually she started standing up. So I don't know if she's sitting up or standing up. I mean, let's just say she was standing. Was she? I think she was standing up. She was like, no, don't say that. I was threatening her though. I was like, okay. She was like, no, let me explain it to you. Because I never threatened her, and you can't say that I threatened her. I was like, I was there. I don't need you to explain it to me. She was like, no, but listen to me. So I think really she was like getting irate because I wasn't feeding to her bullshit like everybody else do. I don't care about your sob story. I don't need to rehear the story because I was there. I watched you threaten her with the 30 other kids and the other teacher. We was all there. Like, I don't need you to tell me some make-believe story. So she was like, no, because you don't know what happened. Let me tell you what happened. I didn't threaten her. I said to y'all that I'd beat her ass. I never said it to her. I never said it to her. I said, but you were holding her arm, talking to us about, but I said, okay. She said, no, because I go to jail for that. I could go to jail for that. I said, if they wanted you to go to jail, you would have been went to jail. She said, no, but the only reason I'm still here is because of me. The only reason, no. Yeah, I said, if they wanted you to go to jail, if they wanted you to go to jail, you would have been in jail. I said, the only reason you here is because Sam wants you here. She said, no, the only reason I'm here is because of me. Because the details matter. The details matter. I said, well, don't tell nobody that in court. Because if you go to court and say, yes, I was holding this kid and I was yelling about beating her ass, but I never said, I'm going to beat your ass. I said, I'm going to beat your ass to a coworker. And you think that you're still not going to go to jail? You're crazy. You're never going to be able to fight that. What? So I was like, okay, well, don't say that in court. She's like, no, because I could go to jail. I go to jail. I said, I don't know why you're talking about jail, but I don't care. She's like, no, because let me tell you. Everybody be saying that I be so great. I don't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. Wow. Let me tell you. I said, I don't know what planet you on, but I'm on Earth. And I was on Earth when you said what you said. So I don't care what you have to say. I don't care. So she's like, no, listen to me. Y'all never want to fucking listen to me. So now she's screaming. So I'm just like, oh, shut up. Like, I'm just like, do. Because I had already gave the kids their food. So they just looking at me. I got my gloves on. I went and sat down while she was doing all this super hollering. So she yelling. After like 4 minutes of her yelling, I just walked up on her. Literally. Like, I just walked up on her. Because I was just so over these bitches. Like, this bitch was going to have to do it. She was like, yelling, come on, let's go outside and talk about it. I was like, I don't want to go outside because I don't give a shit what you got to say. She's like, no, let's go outside. I was like, what you want to do? And I stood up from the chair and I walked up on her and I had my hands. Let me say. So I rose from the chair and I walked up. I said, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And she was like, no, I'm just saying, let's talk. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to you. So then they come in there and get her out of there, take her to the office. Like 5 minutes later, they come take me to the office. So I'm in there, I'm sitting down. They like, what happened? I'm like, she came in and said that somebody need to go to the bathroom. I told her basically the whole same story. She's like, no, because she said that the only reason I'm here is because you kept me here. And that's not true. And here goes my boss. For the first time in life, she was on my side, and I couldn't believe it. I said, oh my God, she must really not like her more than she don't like me, because, woo, I couldn't believe it. She was like, well, I mean, any other job wouldn't have accepted you doing what you do. That's what she told her, with a straight face. And she was like, what do you mean? I'm the only reason I got this job. She was like, well, you did threaten a kid. You shouldn't have done that. You do a lot that you shouldn't have done. So now she's giving her a lecture. So now she's like irate and screaming. So she was like, calm down. So she was like, okay, Kim, tell your story. So I'm talking. She keeps cutting me off. So I was like, listen, can I go back to class? I was like, I don't have time for this. I was like, I'm not going to keep talking. She's going to keep yelling and stuff. So she's yelling and yelling. And so my manager's getting fed up by this point. So she was like, you know, what'd she tell her? I can't remember exactly what she had to say to her. She had said some type of quote to her. But basically telling her ass to chill out. Chill out. She was like, chill out. So eventually, like, she got up, stormed out, yelling in the hallway or whatever. She comes back. She's screaming. She's like, let me tell y'all, y'all never listen to me. Y'all never listen to me. Oh, that's so. She told her to take a chill pill. She was like, she stood up her and she said, take a chill pill. Calm down. Like, that's how she was screaming at her. So, it was just crazy. So, at first, I was standing next to the desk because once I had got up, because I was doing character portrayal, and I was standing next to the desk. So when she came back in, she like walked right in my face. I said, bag back. She was like, no, because I'm just trying to tell you. I don't know why people think that they have to tell me like this close, because I still don't give a fuck whether you this close, that close. I don't give a fuck. So, Sam's like, get out of her face. Get out of her face. So she bags back or whatever. So I was like, so she keeps screaming or whatever. And Sam just keeps saying, stop screaming. Take a chill pill. Take a chill pill. Her ass wasn't taking a chill pill. I was like, listen, I'm going to go back to class. So I go to walk out the door. Do y'all know this crazy bitch grabbed the door? Like, bitch, you ain't going nowhere. She grabbed the door that I'm opening. So I got my hair right here. She got her hair right here. We at each other's face. I said, if you'll let go of that motherfucking door. She was like, and y'all want to listen to me? And I opened that door and I looked at her ass because first off, bitch, I used to fight. I'm from the hood, as her ass would say. I'm like, bitch, I ain't gonna never let you ain't gonna pop me for the back, bitch. I was looking at her ass the whole way. I'm like, and close the door behind me, bitch, because I want to hear it open if you try to come get me. And I went back to the classroom or whatever. And what they do? Didn't send her home. She stayed there, still cussing, still fussing. They sent her on a break. She came right back. After that, she was still there. It was just a mess. So that's another reason. That's another child endangerment hazard. Okay. And it was another big situation. I'm gonna say this girl name because I loved her. Rocky. I met Rocky, like Rocky baby started. Okay, so let me tell y'all. So me and Rocky got hired like the same time. Rocky got hired a day or so behind me because we was training at the same time, but it was like a day difference because I started before her. And I met her and it was so crazy because her baby, like I used to hold her baby all day, y'all. All damn day. Oh my God, cutest little boy ever. He was mixed. Rocky was, damn it, she told me. Damn it, she told me, but Spanish. And the baby daddy was black. And the baby was gorgeous. He had fat little cheeks. He was brown, curly hair, like. And let me tell y'all, that baby was always clean. Like I can appreciate. First off, Rocky was always clean too. But I can appreciate somebody that makes sure that baby is always clean and well groomed, especially coming to daycare and you just see how people drop their kids off. Like don't give a damn. His hair smells so damn good. Like the curls was always defined. It just always smelled great. He always was just so cute and clean. And so he cried. Like the daycare really traumatized him. He cried every single day. He was just like depressed there. And I still talk to Roxy. I talked to her about it. And she said that her baby actually really was going through depression. She said he was traumatized even after for a little bit. Just because they basically used to just ignore him and let him cry and stuff like that. She like, my baby don't go through stuff like that at home. And some kids just don't adapt to that type of shit. Like they'll get over it. They'll get over not being held and stuff like that. But he was a bit older. And he like, bitch, this is what I want. This is what I get. This is what it is. Like everybody not going to adapt to just being ignored. You get what I'm saying? So I used to hold him all day. It didn't matter. It didn't matter what. Like if I'm changing. Well, no, I couldn't hold him while I'm changing the diaper. If I'm feeding one baby and he holding on to me in the other hand because he's, you know, I just didn't like, it's just inhumane to me to have kids on the floor crying or whatever. So one day I had went in there to finish my training or whatever, and she was looking or whatever, and she was like, yeah, I seen you holding my baby. And I was like, who was your baby? Because she looked so young. I thought she was at the same age as me, but she ended up being like 20, I believe. And she was enlisted in the military, everything, just great girl. And she was like, she said her baby or whatever, I'm not gonna say his name too. And I was like, that's your baby? She was like, yeah, I see you holding him all the time. I was like, I love him. He's always so clean. It smells so good. She was like, yeah, I watch you on the camera with him all the time. She was like, he doesn't really like it there. I was like, I know. I said, and I don't like that they basically be ignoring the hell out of him. I said, that's why I be holding on to him. I'm like, we like 2 peas in a pod or whatever. So we end up like bonding over that. So yeah. So one day he was crying so bad. This is like after, like way down the line after we had been working. I want to say like a week or 2 after. He crying. I went to tell her because you can't use your phone in class. I went to tell her, I was like, because sometimes his daddy would come get him if he was just not having a good day. He was just crying. Like, even I was holding him and it wasn't working. And he was crying. I had wanted to tell her, I'm like, yo, you probably want to have his daddy come get him because he's not having a good day today. And she was like, okay, I'll call him or whatever. But Sam got so mad at me for doing that because if they left a certain day, if they left at a certain time, they wouldn't get paid all their money or something like that. So she didn't want me to do that. But this is my friend at this point, and her baby is screaming, which is driving us crazy and the other babies crazy. You get what I'm saying? Like, why would you want that baby to be here instead of informing his parent? Okay. So that happened. Another incident happened with another worker, with the chef. The chef was supposed to be abusive too, and she was never supposed to be in the classrooms because she was too abusive or rough with the children. So one day, the kid that I tell y'all that like to run around and jump up and down off the ceilings and stuff like that, she grabbed her up by her collar to her jacket or whatever and dragged her somewhere. And it was a CPS case open on it because Rocky, when it reported it to Sam, and the next day the same cook was back in a classroom. First off, the cook should not even be in the classroom, but it was in the same classroom with the child again, and Rocky quit. Rocky put in her 2-week notice, never came back, called CPS, and opened a whole investigation on it. And Sam backed the abusive cook, and so did Jamie, because Jamie does whatever Sam says, because they some all DSers. So that's just like another child endangerment. Like, I'm just trying to set the play for y'all. So now, fast forward, summer school kids have came. And one of the kids told me like, yeah, I found you on YouTube. Like the oldest one, he was like 11, and everybody listened to him or whatever. And so I was talking to them on my YouTube. I said, well, if you got me on YouTube, you better subscribe. I said, if you watch me on YouTube, you better subscribe. La di da. So I told the kids that they could subscribe to my channel. You could just not watch at school because they weren't even supposed to look on YouTube at school. So they shouldn't even be finding me on YouTube at school. So I told them they could subscribe, just not, you know, you can't watch YouTube at school, whatever. That was it. What else happened? I'm trying to make sure that I tell y'all everything, so I don't have to revisit this video with these miserable assholes. I'm trying to think. This is okay. So this is another reason. This is another like add-on reason that I forgot to tell y'all. But me and Brandy had got into it at some point. Big Brandy with the baby, because what happened? I wanted to transfer to another location where baby Myron was going to school at. I was like, I'll transfer there. It'll be easier. I could just take him home with me. Blah, 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 blah. It's closer to my house. Blah. So I wanted to transfer there. So I was like, yeah, I was asking Sam, like, would you approve my transfer or whatever? And I had said something along the lines that I know you don't like to transfer people. You know, that's why I'm asking before you decline it when I could just quit and go get rehired. But you got to restart the whole process. This is stupid. And she was like, well, who told you that? And I was like, I didn't say anybody told me that. I was just like, I know you don't like. First off, she was a B to everybody. I just said that. And mind you, in her head, she don't know who I know. You get what I'm saying? And she said, well, in my head, I'm thinking you don't know who I know. But she gonna say, did Brandy say that to you? Because I told them that they can have her. They can have her, and I don't want her. That's what she said about Brandy's ass. But she go back to tell Brandy, did you tell Kimberly and other people that I won't transfer you? I would transfer you. They don't have space for your kid. Blah, 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 blah. Minding some business, ain't got nothing to do with her. So then Brandy ended up coming to say something to me like, did you say something about me? I said, I didn't say nothing about you. She advertised you. I said, you don't have a right to be mad at me because she don't know who the hell I heard that from. I never said nothing about you. She said something about you. Like what? She don't know who I know. She was like, well, I'm the only one that put it in a transfer. I said, but it don't matter. She don't know I know that. I could have been just running my mouth. So you ain't gonna check me about it. So then like another day, I had came in there and because I used to come get my kids, my pre-K kids out of her classroom in the morning because she got there like 5. And I came to get my kids and I had said something and her assistant teacher was just looking at me crazy like. And I'm like, okay. So I left. I ended up mentioning to my other coworker, like, yeah, they was looking funny. So you ain't got to hear nothing else. I ain't got nothing else to say to y'all asses. And I should have said. So then, like, the next day, Brandy came to my classroom and she was like, what's wrong with you, Kim, or whatever? And I'm like, nothing. And she's like, I mean, well, you've been being weird. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, no, bitch, you was being weird yesterday, but I didn't say anything because I don't have nothing to say about it now. You want to be a weirdo? I too can play that game. And she was like, well, is something going on with you? Is something at home? Do you need money? Is this, that? I'm like, hell no. I'm like, no, I'm good. So then, later on, I don't know when, but I was working with this other coworker. I'm not going to say her name, whatever, because giving her a name would just be too much work. I was working with her, and I was like, don't give me the brandy, because I had said something. She was looking like stupid, and I said, don't look at me like, I said, don't do the brandy on me, because I was making light of the face that Brandy had made at me, which I had told her about when I initially made that joke. She called herself going to tell Brandy the exact same shit I said. And so when I had came in the classroom to see what they was eating for lunch, they was all in there, and when I'm leaving, Brandy was like, what's the brandy? And I was like this. I was like, the same face that she made at me. And she was like, I don't get it. What's the brandy? I said, this your face. I said, that's the brandy. How crazy you was looking at me when I was talking to you the other day. I said, and if that girl, the girl who said it, was going to tell you the story, she should have told you the whole story, because then it would have made more sense. And she was like, Kim, I never made a face at you. I said, you did. You made a crazy face at me. You did. And she was like, well, so she was like, well, I didn't make a crazy face. I said, yes, you did. You was looking at me dumb, and that's why I called her the brandy, because she looked at me the same dumb way. And I said, that's why I didn't want to talk to you. That's why I didn't want to be bothered. She said, okay. And I said, okay. And I left. And it was just kind of like, what did you think I was going to not say something to you? I don't give a fuck how big you are. I said it, because that's what the hell happened. And it wasn't like no bad blood or anything, but that's what happened. So what the hell? Like, I don't give a shit. And then, like, after, like, from that point on, it was just, like, weird with that group entirely, like, the whole job entirely. I'm like, oh, all you bitches is weird equally. And I just thought it was weird. Like, it was just weird after that. And I was just like, oh, I'm just not pressed to stay here. Yeah. So that happened. And then I already told y'all what happened with me letting the kids subscribe to my YouTube channel. So one day they called me into the office. Mind you, I've been on the road, haven't talked to nobody, haven't did shit. By this time, a new coworker started working here. I like her. I love her. We supposed to be going to get drinks next week. So whatever. But I love her. She still texts me everything. She's like, I love you so much, girl. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I love you too, girlfriend. But she had started working here, so it was like smooth sailing for me, because I was working with her. She was great. It was wonderful. So and she was our new head teacher, so it worked out perfectly. So they called me to the office one time, and they was like, we want to talk to you about your attendance. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, well, she was like, do you think your attendance is good? I'm like, I don't understand how my attendance could be bad. And she was like, well, you've got 13 tardies. And I'm like, okay. And she, was it? It was 13. 13 tardies. Yeah, it was 13. And I'm like, okay. I said, I don't know when I was tardy, but okay. Mind you, I was getting there at 7 o'clock in the morning, but the kids don't get there till 7:40, like 8-ish. So whatever. So sometimes, like, if I was like about to be too early, I would stop and get coffee and be like a minute or two late, but nobody would be there. Like, none of my kids would be there. You get what I'm saying? And if it was one, they got there like 6 o'clock, then they in Brandy classroom, and they okay, because she didn't got nobody either. So whatever. So she was like, yeah, you know, I'll read them off to you. I was like, I really don't care. I'm like, okay. She was like, no, I'll read them off to you. 701, 704, 703, 7 1/4, 7 2/4. I was like, are you serious? She was like, yeah. She was like, and you called off Monday because you said that you had got a flat tire. Because I did. I called off Monday because I got a flat tire. And she was like, but you've been posting on Instagram. I'm like, excuse me? Excuse me? She was like, yeah, you posted on Instagram. I'm going to show y'all the video I posted. At the time that I posted this, I had... Did I vlog with those braids? Yeah, when I was doing that, when I was doing the get ready with me, so I didn't take no pictures of them because I didn't like them. But when I was doing the get ready with me, I had those fat braids in my head, y'all, before I dyed my hair. to get ready with me for Miami. I had those the same braids I had in. She was like, you had those braids. I had those braids in at that time, right? But this is the video I posted. What else are my videos? Wait a second, y'all. I gotta scroll down. No, that wasn't it. This is the video I posted. And I posted that video. Mind you, I had brown and pink braids in at this time. So she said, yeah, but Monday you posted a video on Instagram. I posted that video. I post that video because my Instagram is monetized and I get paid for that. So I post a lot of shit that's not at the time zone so I can get some money in my pocket. Do I have to explain that? No. So she said, yeah, you posted a video on Monday. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, you just shouldn't post stuff if you're not going to come to work. Mind you, in this video I had jet black 30-inch long frontal. In that office, I had 2-week-old brown braids. So when did I have to... Did she think it was a wig? I don't know. Maybe she don't understand because she's so fucking old. She didn't know. But I'm like, what? I'm like, excuse me? She was like, yeah, and I see that you know, like, I see you post a lot of times if you're, like, tardy or absent. Like, I see stuff. I said, so y'all stalking my social media. She said, I mean, well, you just shouldn't post stuff if you're not going to come to work. I was like, you are not serious. I just started laughing. I was like, y'all is crazy. Like, you're just not serious. You're not serious. And what else happened? After that, she was like, yeah, and the kids said that they know that you have a YouTube channel. I said they do. She said, and you told them to subscribe. I said yes. If they're gonna stalk me on social, I said if they're gonna find me on YouTube, then they should subscribe. She said, but they also told us that you told them not to watch your YouTube in school. I said, because they're not even supposed to be on YouTube in school. Why they going to look me up? I said, but if they're going to subscribe, which is going to ultimately get me paid, knock yourself out if you're going to watch anyways. She said, well, that's just not appropriate. I said, how much shit y'all do here that's not appropriate? I was just like, you don't got to worry about it. This is going to be my last day. I don't want that paper or none of that shit. And she was like, what? I was just like, I don't want that paper. I'm going to go back. And I went and I left on my break and I never came back. I went to go tell the 2 people that I was there with, like, you know, like, this is gonna be my last day. I told my favorite lady, it's my last day, and I never came back. I left on break, and I didn't come back. Because y'all got me fucked up. First off, y'all think I need a job here. I don't. Bitch, I'm gonna be a millionaire. Mark my words. And I'm not gonna be thinking about Sam, Jamie. I'm not gonna be thinking about Sam, Jamie. None of them will be people that work there. None of them hoes. So I was just like, I'm out of here. I was like, I don't even know why I stayed there that long. Plus, I had already was over that job. I had wrapped this bun around weird. But I was already over that job because I had got a job. I had got a check. And it was like 63 hours. And it was, I swear to God, it was like $800. And I was like, am I wasting my $800? Can't pay for shit for me. Shit. Not a goddamn thing. If I had to work off, I got a car note. I got car insurance. I got 2 phones. That can't even pay all those bills. So that probably could pay my car note and my car insurance. Part of one phone bill. Not even both. So I'm like, I'm slaving. And it's like every day, every week, every Friday I come in and I come in with a new hairstyle. They're like, oh, you got your hair done. You got your hair done. How much you be paying for this? How much you be paying for that? And I'm telling them, I'm like, go here. Go here. Do here. Tell them, Kimberly, get you a discount. They're like, ain't nobody got no much money to pay that. You pay that much money. You pay that much money. Oh my God. Oh my God. You're rich. I'm like, if I had to live off this check, I wouldn't have a goddamn thing. But I be trying to be like real humble. I was not making shit there. I was just wasting my time. And I was getting comfortable. So I was like, I'm out of here. Fuck y'all. And I left. And that's how I quit. And Sam and Jamie and all you other weirdos, what the fuck is up? Because I'm okay, bitches. It's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm great, bitches. Still traveling. Still living my best life. Just got a new car if you wanted to update. So that's great. I had a bomb car then. I got a bomber car now. I'm about to deck that bitch out. Stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe. For all you weirdos that wanted to be weird to me. And I bet they still there making that same chump change and ain't shit changed. Still mad about their time being messed up and la-di-di-da. And that's why you just should mind your business and not talk about me. Anyways, that's the end of that story. Glad I'm done with that job. Couldn't believe I stayed there at that racist, old ass, tired ass, no money having ass job. I just got comfortable. That's it. I get into routine like I tell y'all, and I just be there. And I forget that I can quit and say, fuck y'all. I don't even need this shit. So yeah, like I tell y'all, I've been down and out for a month. Imagine, do you think I would be able to stack money staying at that job? No, I've been down and out for a month. And I've still, everything's been paid for. I'm still good. I'm currently looking for me a house. I know y'all seen that video. I'm looking for me a house. I want a house. Can you believe I'm unemployed and I'm trying to buy a house? Buy a house, rent a house, lease a house, whatever they got for me. I'm ready. I got a new car. I'm about to get a new house. I'm great. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I got a few more things to update you guys about. But yeah, that's about it. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you can become a part of Kim's Clique. And until next time, I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. I am out, and I came in to be back again.